3, 2, 1.
Me and Meech back at you.
What's up?
Recording a new episode of the Meech and Colby podcast, episode 27. We're going to be talking the NBA playoffs. Round 1 is on its way.
On its way. It's here.
It's here, yeah. Like I said, the Knicks, frauds, playoff frauds,
What do you
currently
mean
down
playoff
3-1
frauds?
to the Hawks, a team that's never been in the playoffs
No, I
before.
thought it was 2-1.
They just lost today. 3-1 down to the Hawks and running it back in
Come
NYC.
on, Spike.
Like I said, and Meech disrespected me when I brought this up, but Julius Randle is not that dude. He is not Batman. He is not Nightwing like you tried to say. He is still Robin trying to become Nightwing. He is not the man yet.
He's Blue Beetle.
So the Knicks, man, they're down 3-1 to the Hawks. Granted, if they were going to win a first round playoff series, it was the Hawks, right? If they were going to beat anybody out
you're
east.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
An unexperienced team going in there, but Trey's just been giving them the work. What do you got to say about Trae Young?
He's as bad as his hair.
I respect that.
Come on, man. Like that. We'll see you in ATL.
That was hard.
It's quiet in here. Come on.
And he's dropping buckets on them. He's turned into an assassin, dude. Trae, he's one of the league's biggest shit talkers too. I've actually noticed that this week.
I like it.
I like it too because you know what? He's not that dude who's gonna body you. He could just shoot. There's nothing you could do about it. He's just gonna shoot a 30-footer in your mouth. And yeah, I mean, he's beefing with the Knicks players,
he's homeless
their fans. Homeless Steph. No, that's barberless Steph. So
that's Steph Aisha.
So right now the Hawks are up 3-1. You have any hopes of your Knicks coming back? You know that they like the grit and grind.
It's possible.
If you were a betting man, are they taking another game this series?
Yeah, one. I can see them taking one more game.
All right, but you have the Hawks finish them off. So.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, and I think no matter what happens, Hawks aren't going to go much farther after this round.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean,
they're going to be running up against Philly, who's up 3-0 again in the Washington series right now.
It's been a good week for the Rivers family.
Yeah, true. The Clippers are losing. Austin Rivers is balling. The Sixers are winning. It's looking good for them.
Yeah,
but
for real.
Talking about the Sixers, they're up 3-0 right now against Washington.
Seth Curry is currently losing. We won't count him.
Why is he losing?
Because he's on the Blazers, right?
No, he's on the Sixers.
Oh, for real?
Pause this.
After some deliberation, I found out that Seth Curry is on the 76ers and they are winning. So good for the Rivers family. You know?
Yeah, Philly up 3-0 going up against Washington. Westbrook and Beal are giving it their all. Just not quite enough. Bertans is out there just playing football. A couple nights ago, you saw he had 28 minutes, 6 fouls, 0 rebounds, 0 points, 0 steals, 0 assists.
Man's out here playing rugby.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, just bumping into people, just running up and down the court. But the Wizards paid him a big bag, and he's just not. And at the time, it was really questionable.
He's got great hair.
Meech's. So last episode was all about the dreads. Meech's. We're gonna have to have an NBA barbershop episode for Meech, going over the best and worst haircuts in the league.
I think he has like the most respectable haircut in the league.
He does have a really respectable haircut, but the jump shot ain't respectable. You're getting paid a big bag to score 0 points in the playoffs against Philly.
Yeah, you're right. 0, not just 0 points, but like 0 steals, 0 blocks, 0
and
rebounds,
foul out,
0 assists.
So Bertans just isn't getting it done. Wizards, I think nobody really expected them to beat Philly.
Yeah, no.
But Embiid, next series, he's going to have himself worked up going against Trae Young. I think they're going to take care of that easily, though. But Capella's going to be a problem for him down low.
Big time. And I'm excited to see that matchup because I feel like if Embiid putters out, because he can't really play a super long stretch, you know?
Right.
So if let's say the Wizards pull out 2 games, you know, and then he has to go fight with Capella in the paint. It's gonna be a long series.
Yeah, I still think that's easy money for Sixers because the Hawks don't really play a lick of defense anywhere.
Yeah.
And you already know Ben Simmons is going to be clamping down your best player. Trae Young doesn't want that smoke. And if you don't want him on Trae Young, you just put him on John Collins. That's why he's my defensive player of the year, in my opinion.
You think so?
It's not Rudy Gobert because Rudy Gobert puts up empty stats, I say, in the paint down low.
Yeah, rebounds because he has those little
his rebounds
and the tippy toe rebounds.
Yeah, he does get a lot of tip rebounds, but I think Gobert. At this point in day and age, if you don't have a dominant center like a Shaquille O'Neal, a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem Olajuwon, they're not going to win Defensive Player of the Year. I think because Gobert is not dominant enough to say that he's better than someone like Simmons, who can guard the 1 through 5, best player night in, night out.
I think Simmons is the most valuable defender in the league, if that makes sense. But I feel like just numbers wise, if it's purely a stats award,
which it's not though.
Okay, then never mind. I withdraw my statement.
But who would you give it to this year? Gobert?
I think Giannis deserves it.
Right. Okay. He's always in there every single year.
I'm not mad with any of the top 3 guys, to be honest with you, because I mean, like, Utah was the best team in the league because of their defense, and Rudy Gobert is the defensive anchor. So like, I get why he won it, or why he's the favorite to win it.
Right. Yeah, my only problem with giving it to Gobert is guys like Jokic and Davis are giving him the work. Just bring him out to the perimeter. His stats are only from people driving to the lane. Like
I mean, half the shots in the NBA are layups. You know what I mean? So if you're in
the 80s, now this game's a jump shot league.
It's either a 3-point shot or a layup.
Yeah, and even then, is Gobert's 2 blocks a game and his 10 defensive rebounds really that valuable compared to somebody who can guard a best player, play in, play out?
You're right.
That's just how I view the Defensive Player of the Year award. So that was a long topic on that series, but right now, the Bucks took care of the Heat, 4-0.
That's crazy. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting
they didn't play with their food, as Giannis says.
No.
Was it the addition of Drew Holiday? Was it that the Bubble Guppies were out of the bubble? What was it?
Bubble Guppies.
That's what we're calling the Heat the rest of this episode, the Bubble Guppies.
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think Tyler Hero just really didn't have it going, and
I remember last year when you said you would trade the number 1 pick for Tyler Hero in the bubble.
Yeah,
No, you weren't the only person. There was a lot of famous people on that too, like Bill Simmons. I remember he was on that train too. That's how it all got started. But a lot of people were on the Hero hype train. A lot of people were on the Hero hype train in the bubble.
I mean, and again, he flopped this season. You know, maybe he'll come back bigger, better.
Right. His game is pretty one-dimensional though, but we'll have to see how the Heat. I think the Heat aren't going to just watch how the offseason goes.
Siakam was the same deal.
Yeah, Siakam.
Siakam. The season.
Yeah, but Siakam's had previous seasons more than because Tyler Hero really only showed up in the bubble.
Yeah,
I feel like Siakam's been there before, former champion, all-star.
So out of every player who's fallen off this season, who do you think fell off the worst?
Oh, by far it was Hero.
Yeah,
I think it was Hero because he went from being one of the biggest assets in the league, not somebody who you wouldn't even trade for James Harden.
True.
The Heat wouldn't even trade him for James Harden. That's how much they liked him. And now you'll be lucky if you get Zach LaVine out of him. I don't even know if you'll be able to trade Hero for LaVine straight up. The Bulls would probably decline that, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
At the beginning of the year, the Bulls would take that in a heartbeat.
Facts.
But
it just...
I think Hero is one of those players that fell astronomically this season.
Yeah, big time. Because what was his average? He's like 10 points this season?
Yeah, he was real low, and it's not even in that Miami team was injured all year. He had opportunities to step up. Goran was in and out. Kendrick Nunn can't really get his position. Oladipo wasn't there at the end of the year.
Oh, facts. I keep forgetting Oladipo's on the Heat.
And he might leave them in free agency after only playing a couple games.
Yeah.
So who knows how that's going to go down, but
I can see like Dame going somewhere like Miami though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dame's not leaving Portland unless it's for New York.
That too. I think New York and Miami are like the best like free agency spots right now.
Yeah, I think there's no way that Miami's going to go into this free agency just standing pat.
No.
Pat Riley's going to be making moves because they got Jimmy Butler for a couple years left. He's not going to be in his prime forever. They got to try to win now with him. And Bam's right up there, one of the best defenders in the league, top 5 defender in my opinion.
You think so?
Yeah, he's definitely he's a center that can guard 3 through 5.
Yeah.
Bigger guards. He's good. I like Bam up there in the top 5 defenders in the league, but the Bucks just took care of business. Was it the Drew Holiday? Like I asked earlier, was it the Drew Holiday acquisition or was it that the Bubble Guppies were out of the bubble?
I think it's a pretty good combination of both, but I think it's just because the environment changed.
Right.
You know? And like plus like you said, the Heat were struggling all year. You know, like they were kind of rolling a little bit towards the end of the season, but then they just kind of pitter pattered out, you know what I mean? Like and just the Bucks they've been solid all season, you know what I mean?
Right.
They've been rock solid.
Yeah, the Bucks have been doing the same thing that they do every single year, but I feel like the media is getting kind of bored with the Giannis MVP thing, so that voter fatigue kind of took them out of the media and stuff like that. But they're just rolling like they do the last 3-4 years.
Do you think they'll win to the second round?
Well, they're going to be going up against the Nets because we all know your Celtics aren't coming back.
Yes, but I'd like to talk about that game.
Yeah, we'll be getting to that series, but
I'd very much like to talk about that game.
So the Nets and Bucks is going to be an interesting playoff matchup that everybody's really excited to see.
Yeah.
Nets Celtics went down. Nets are up 3-1. Game 5's happening today. They're looking to finish the series.
It's a different feeling of a 3-1 in my opinion, and I feel like all of Boston feels the same. That one was so important because
and this is why Boston fans are nothing to the NBA. Just keep talking. Give your point.
It's a little extreme, but
well, that's what I'm talking about. Boston fans more hyped to win one game against Kyrie Irving.
I'm saying, but like at the end of a really shitty season, you know, like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong in the season. You know, we lost Jaylen Brown for the playoffs.
Oh, boo-hoo! You have 2 max contract all-stars.
I know, but just
and Jalen and Kemba Walker.
No, but just let me make my point.
Yes, let's hear.
Thank you. So like it was just a bad season overall, you know? Like we lost a lot of key players. And like but then I think this is Kyrie's first playoff game back at the Garden.
His first game in front of fans at the Garden.
Yeah. And he said some pretty off-color remarks about the fans, you know?
Which weren't false.
Maybe not false, but you know, maybe
even coming from Marcus Smart, the heart and soul of Boston, was confirming Kyrie's comments.
Yes, but it got the fans feeling some type of way, and I feel like Jason Tatum showed up and really showed Boston that he cared. You know, are you playing a tiny violin right now?
Yes, I'm playing the world's tiniest violin for this Boston sob story right now. Ain't nobody feels bad for you after the way you treated Kyrie and all the other stars that came to you.
How we treated Kyrie. We treated Kyrie with the utmost respect. His jersey sales when he was in Boston were the highest they ever were.
So, same thing with IT and Gordon Hayward and Kemba, and you guys have been treating him terrible as well. So I'm saying Boston as a fan base needs to learn how to treat their players first. They need to learn how to treat their stars because right now I'm saying you haven't had too much of a good relationship with past stars in Beantown, have you? Gordon Hayward, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Kyrie Irving, Isaiah Thomas.
Paul Pierce, what are you talking about? We love Paul Pierce.
A Celtics legend?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is you guys didn't have a good ending with him. It didn't end well.
Yeah, that's not the fans' fault. That's Danny Ainge's fault.
No, I know. That's what I'm telling you about. And that's why there's a problem with Kyrie, because he was treated by shit like Boston, so he treated Boston shit right back. True. Boston has Kyrie on the trade block right off the minute. Right when you guys get Kyrie, there were Boston fans saying that they would trade Kyrie to get LeBron that free agency.
And I think if we could...
And they would, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you guys didn't show your loyalty. I would in a heartbeat, but you got to show your loyalty because you know LeBron's not coming to Boston. You know that's a fact. He's not coming to Boston. That's probably the city that he hates the most out of every NBA team.
Yeah, true.
Probably Boston and Golden State were the 2 teams that he wouldn't go to that offseason.
Imagine if he went to Golden State.
Yeah, then he would imagine KD's criticism. Yeah, but I think at that point, you guys don't, like, Bleacher Report and Boston fans shouldn't make LeBron jersey swap saying that they'll get rid of Kyrie because they had their beef. Yeah, facts. Kyrie's your guy.
I don't know.
And just stuff like that. And I feel like Kyrie was always in the trade mix. You got him there. He didn't want to be there in the first place. He made that well known. I don't want to be in Boston for how they've treated their players in the past. He wanted to play in a big market or San Antonio. He got traded there anyways. He gave you his all. He got injured, whatever. But I feel like he gets a bad rap. And I think he's in a Dennis Rodman type beat. He's a player that can go out there. You don't know what you're going to get from him. Dennis, it might be in different circumstances. Kyrie might have to go to a Buddhist church, but Dennis Rodman might be going to Vegas to party. But either way, they're missing games. They're missing practice. Kyrie might say it's family reasons. Rodman might be piping Madonna. Like, we don't know. Either way, they're both not at the games for some reason. But when they're there, they're special. They're Hall of Famers. That's why I think, and you can't deny their greatness.
No, you can't deny Kyrie's greatness, but I don't know. Him and Harden are my least favorite players in the league. And
okay.
It's nice to see, like, just one game.
For different reasons, though. You actually hate Kyrie, the player.
I don't like Kyrie as a person. I don't like James Harden as a player.
I'm always a Kyrie defender
as a person.
I'm just a Kyrie defender when it comes to Boston fans, because I think Boston fans give him too much of a. But you're also
an LA fan, so you hate everything that Boston fans do.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's like, yeah.
But what stars have you treated well lately?
Jason Tatum
on a rookie contract.
Yeah, but he's our star, and he is our star.
and you've offered him, and he's been in trade talks his whole career. He said that he'd want to be a star of a franchise in the Pelican trade talks. Like, you guys have even tossed him around. Jaylen Brown's been in freaking more deals than you can count.
Yeah, not.
And like young, like that affects players. Like, you obviously how that affected. I don't know if you knew, but Lonzo, Kuzma, Ingram, Hart, that affected them hard. Like,
so the Lakers are no better.
But we did the trade, and we brought in a star, and we kept him happy in AD and LeBron.
But we showed the loyalty to our players, and we didn't.
What loyalty did you show to what player?
To Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
By offering them in trade packages for Anthony Davis and James Harden and all these players?
The trade didn't go through, and then we kept them.
Because they got declined because those players weren't that good compared to those players in the long run.
But we also paid them a lot of money, and we buy their jerseys as fans. And
you guys do that as fans. As fans, you guys love your players. As fans, I think Celtics fans are some of the most loyal fans.
We love Grant Williams.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the front office in Boston.
The front office is horrible. Like, if that's what you're saying, the front office is absolutely garbage.
Right.
Like, but as like the fan base, we love our players.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
Boston fans, I understand why you hate Kyrie, but
the prototype podcast that we had in our senior year math class was about why I thought Kyrie might win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, this dude.
You know what I mean?
Kyrie, bro. But I understand why Boston fans hate Kyrie. Like, I understand why, because he didn't win you guys a chip. But if Kyrie was there and he won you guys a chip doing his things, like Dennis Rodman did for the Pistons and the Bulls, would there have been a problem?
We would love even if you got us past that second round series with against Giannis, and then because really I think that's Kyrie's worst performance of his career.
Right, and I do think he gets a bad rap for that a lot because he didn't have a long showtime in Boston, and remember that series he just kept shooting and shooting more.
Yeah.
And I think he gets a bad rap for that. But guys like Kobe and Michael Jordan, like when they're missing shots, you want them to keep shooting. And I guess it's just they've done it multiple times in their career, and they've done it to win championships.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They've proved that they could do it before, and Kyrie just wasn't there yet. But I think his hate might be a little too much from the front office. And the players all love him, but the fans hate him out in Boston.
Well, I mean, because he did the whole bait and switch thing. Like, I feel like if you're gonna even if he would have came out and said halfway through the season, listen, things changed, I'm sorry, or even if he after he did it, if he would have just tweeted out listen,
I agree.
Things changed, I'm sorry, I told you that I was coming back at the beginning of the season, I didn't, but I just have a better opportunity with the Nets instead of just ditching us for the Nets.
No, I agree 100%. As a player, you should never. I would never confirm.
Or just never tell
until the contract's signed.
Yeah, exactly. He should have never said anything.
I would say something like, "I love playing in Boston. That's it. We'll see what happens when contract time comes around, or something like that." Like even at this point, Dennis Schroeder says that he still wants to play in LA, but he keeps declining contracts because he wants to keep his options open. Something like that. You understand as a fan, but I understand when you come from there. Actually, when he says that he wants to stay long term, then his last playoff series, he kind of just goes out shooting you guys out like crazy, taking a lot of jumpers at the end of the series.
It felt kind of like he set us up. I'm not gonna lie.
I wouldn't say that there. Kyrie's trying to win, and they were going against the Bucks. And granted, they did play a lot better without him.
Yeah.
But that is just something that happens in the league. So we'll see what happens out east. I think the Nets take care of business. And
yeah. Oh yeah, big time. 100%. The
Nets.
Yeah, the Nets. We're not winning another game, and I'm okay with that. To be honest with you, because we had that one big moral victory. We have a moral championship this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Celtics fans winning moral chips. Heading out west. Lakers are up 2-1 on the Suns right now. They're in the second half. Anthony Davis.
It's a good series.
Anthony Davis is currently ruled out for the rest of the game. He got hurt. But what else is new for the big AD?
Yeah,
he was on the ground rolling around, took a big hit.
Hurt
right now, they're at halftime of that game. Lakers are down by 9 currently in the third quarter. And at this point, I'm expecting the Suns to just take the game with no AD for the rest of the game because he's been the real thing rolling that team this series.
It's a great series, though.
It has been, yep. And they've been battling. Lakers coming in as a 7th seed.
So with hurt Chris Paul and hurt AD, who do you think has the advantage now?
Oh, I think clearly in the series, I think LA favors the series because they have home court advantage.
Okay. Well, I don't know what I'm saying.
Throughout the rest of the series.
But now that those two similar caliber stars are injured.
I think, Chris Paul is still playing. Anthony Davis is completely out. So if Chris Paul's still playing, obviously the Suns have the advantage.
Okay, all right.
Because I think without Anthony Davis, he's proven that he's what's the most important piece to the Lakers this playoff so far. His first game, only having a 10-point game, and they lost, a terrible loss. And then his second game coming up with big double-doubles, 30, 25-point double-doubles, and they win.
Yeah.
So I think it obviously runs through him.
What does that say about LeBron? No, I'm joking.
Skip Bayless over here. But it's just tough, man. It's a tough season for us. I understand it from a fan perspective. They had the shortest offseason in NBA history.
Yeah.
You could kind of say the same thing for the Heat. Shortest offseason in NBA history, also for them. But they didn't win the championship, so nobody really cares.
Exactly. They had one game off because they lost that one game.
Yeah, like if you go to the championship and lose, nobody's gonna feel sorry for you the next year for playing a long season.
Yeah, facts. Except if you're like the Cavs, but
yeah. But so the Lakers, I understand why they're losing, and I think that they're gonna win the series. But the Suns putting up a hell of a fight. Devin Booker is kind of being a little crybaby at the end of the game, throwing Schroeder going up for a layup, and he just threw him in midair for no reason because Schroeder was talking.
It's his first playoff series. He doesn't know how to conduct himself.
I know, playing on his little violin. Like, I'm surprised. He's lucky all he got was ejected. He should have been suspended a game. Pushing a guy in midair, you could like tear somebody's meniscus. Like, you could mess them up. You should know.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
You should know. Like, I get it. He's frustrated. Game one.
I was playing an NBA game and I got shoved in the air and I tore my meniscus.
Yeah, but you can't be pushing a grown player in midair. Like you're a grown man. Like, respect the game.
Is Devin Booker a grown man? I feel like he's still growing.
He's above his 20s. He could drink. He's dating a Kardashian.
He has like little kid hair though.
What?
You know what I'm talking about?
All right, we're done with your hair conversations.
He has like a little poofy mohawk kind of deal.
Booker. So he pushed Schroeder in midair. Nothing happened. Flagrant 2 got kicked out. Him and Jay Crowder. So we'll see how the rest of the series
goes. Speaking of hair, Jay Crowder's hair looks.
And so we're gonna keep moving on to the Mavs, who are up 2-1 on the Clippers playing tonight. And right now, who knows what's going to be happening in LA City, but games in Dallas.
Yeah, it's gonna be Dallas winning in LA City.
You think Dallas is winning the series?
Oh yeah.
As much as a Clipper hater I am, I think they're coming back. Rondo.
I don't have faith in Ty Lue.
But do you have faith in your so-called best player when we first started this podcast, Kawhi Leonard?
No.
You don't have faith in him?
Not right now.
How things change in 1 year, Demetrius.
I know. You tore your meniscus and your best player changes.
Yeah, man. So I think I actually believe in them. Rondo is starting to call out Dallas plays, I've heard too. They can't call out plays anymore because when Rondo played in Dallas, Rick Carlisle was still the coach, so they have a lot of similar plays. So they're calling out plays, and Rondo's calling them out to his team. And I don't know, man. Playoff Rondo is gonna start coming into effect.
I feel like that's like the the best part of like playing for like almost every team in the league is that you know all their plays.
Yeah, as long as they're not trash teams with coaches being fired every year.
Facts.
But yeah, for Rondo, that's a good thing. And apparently the virus is contagious because Pandemic P has gone from Paul George to Kristaps Porzingis this series because your boy Campazzo is averaging more rebounds than Kristaps this playoffs.
20 and 10 games coming soon.
He never said 20 10 He never said 20 and 10 assists. He said 20 and 10. So it might be Campazzo with 10 boards.
It might be 20 rebounds and 10 boards.
Yeah, damn. But anyway, so the Clippers, I think I'm calling a Clipper comeback. You're calling Mavs taking it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
You believe in Luka? He's just been toying around Pat Bev all series long.
I believe in Luka Magic.
Oh, like Giannis said, Luka, I need more magic now.
Yes, exactly. But he doesn't need any more magic. He's got a bag full of it.
That's just Rick Carlisle's playbook. Luka, I need more magic now. He's just out there cooking dudes. And he's talking his shit to Morris, Beverly, PG, Kawhi.
Morris tried to break his ankle last year.
All those guys are like, they all bullied him last year. Yeah, I'm glad now he came back with his European gang with him and Kristaps and Maxi Kleba and Boban. Right? You don't want to mess with those boys.
Amazing this series.
Lights out. One of the most underrated players in the league, I think.
Oh yeah, big time.
Him, I know you're gonna hate me for this. I think Tice is an underrated player.
No, he is, especially in Chicago where he has his minutes.
Yeah, those are two guys who don't really get a lot of fans who aren't diehard NBA fans don't necessarily know those names, but they do their role. They play their role well.
Tice is one of the best like down low screeners.
Yeah, no, Tyson's screen game is good. Not as good as Kwame Brown's.
No way.
As that beef continues, but we'll get to that eventually when that ends one day, if it ever ends, because we got updates on that.
Brick is about to hide behind a dumpster and shoot him. Stephen A. Smith. Did you see that General Hospital scene? Like where
Stephen A. on General Hospital.
Yeah, where he hides behind the dumpster and shoots the robber.
Yeah, it's classic. Stephen A. knows what's good, bro.
Yeah, facts.
He's one of the best marketing people other than Shaq in the sports world.
Yo, Shaq has a jewelry line at K Jewelers right now.
Shaq's got an everything line, bro. He's everywhere.
Yeah, I know, right?
You can't watch one set of commercials without seeing Shaq once. So out west, we got the Jazz Grizzlies. That series has been all right. 2-1. Jaw's been doing his thing, trying to keep it in there.
Yeah, the Grizzlies are in the lead.
Jazz are in the lead 2-1.
Okay, all right.
Jaw in the Grizzlies won game 1.
Yes.
We'll see how it goes. Donovan Mitchell came back for game 2 and 3, and the Jazz took care of business. I think the Jazz are going to win. The Grizzlies just aren't experienced enough yet. Still
but they're putting up a fight.
Yeah, no doubt. They're hard.
Valanciunas and
surprised they beat the Warriors.
Facts. Big facts. Because I think they might have the Warriors right now, they're kind of like one-dimensional.
Right. Well, yeah, because they're just running straight through Steph. I know what you mean.
So I'm pretty sure like their coach and all that, like after playing that the game right before the play-in,
right.
They got a good taste of what's to come, because they almost won that game and Dylan Brooks didn't foul out. So
yeah, and they just had to finish playing the Lakers a game before, which is rough on you for a 7 seed. But I think Warriors fans are really hoping for the Clippers to lose right now. They're really hoping for the Clippers to lose because Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, both. Well, Kawhi's a free agent this offseason.
Yeah.
Paul George, if they lose and Kawhi leaves, Paul George isn't going to stay there to be the main star out, and because you know that Paul George isn't a main star of the team.
Imagine PG, Clay,
and that's what I'm saying. They're hoping for that because Kawhi wants to stay in LA. He wants to stay in Cali.
Yeah.
So if he leaves free agency, Golden State is one of the top destinations. Like they're already ready to win. You stay in Cali.
Facts.
And if anything happens, you make a Paul George trade. If Kawhi leaves, say he goes to Miami, he goes somewhere else that's not Golden State or the Clippers, you could try to make a Paul George trade happen revolving around Wiggins, Wiseman, some picks, stuff like that. I could see both teams if the Clippers went into a rebuild phase. So Warriors fans, Heat fans, they're probably hoping for the Clippers to lose this series so those 2 stars become available this offseason.
Facts. I like the Jordan Poole too. He's
underrated player, like we were just talking about.
He's gonna be in I think he's gonna be in 6-man talks when.
Yeah, him and Juan
back.
Toscano are really underrated on that team this year.
Facts, yeah.
And the last series out west is
Nuggets, Blazers.
Yep, tied 2-2. Arguably one of the best series going down right now. It's Dame last night had 10 points, but the Blazers still came out and won. Which is
very surprising.
Very surprising because you pretty much think that team runs through Dame and CJ, but Norman stepped up.
I'm still waiting on that Jokic 60-point game. It's going to happen. I feel it.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Big time. Who do you think's going to win the series?
Oh. Blazers. I'm sticking by my prediction.
I don't know, man. Austin Rivers playing the way he's playing?
Austin Rivers is what...
Aaron Gordon locking up people?
He did lock up Dame. He has been playing great defense on Dame as a power forward. He's another underrated defender in the league.
Yeah, because he can guard the perimeter.
He can guard 1 through 4, arguably the 5, depending on who's out there at the 5.
Yeah, if it's like PJ Tucker.
Yeah, so... Well, he could bang out with guys like Bam. Those
big time.
Smaller centers. But that's going to be an interesting series, man. Probably the best one out there right now.
Facts.
My personal best series was that Knicks-Hawks before it went 3-1 because...
I know, but I mean, all those games have been really, really close too, right?
The Knicks-Hawks, yeah, they've been grinding down to the wire. They've been talking shit. I feel like this is like going back to that old school basketball, like I get it, it's New York basketball, it's gonna be gritty, grindy, but like these guys are grit and grind. They're pushing, they're shoving, they're like getting into fights. Like the fans are getting into fights.
I love it.
Fans are getting
Spike Lee's getting tight.
Yeah, it's like people aren't. It's like I'm
90s again.
Yeah, I like it. It's like they're getting into it, man. And I feel like we're starting to get into that generation where people are gonna stop player following. And we're gonna start rooting for our teams again.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I want to see happen. I like that. And I even have to say I was a part of that. You're a part of that, of this player following. But
yeah, I mean, I'm a Jokic fan through and through.
As I was with LeBron, but I like it. I hate the current state where the NBA is at now. Where
I feel like this season is kind of like the perfect.
So many beefs this season. I feel like aren't like People are starting to like draw lines against each other.
Yeah, we need beef.
We need beef in the NBA.
We need beef.
Yeah,
It's a
Jokic
famine
has
out here,
enough. So we'll see how that series ends up. I think no matter what happens, the better team will win.
Probably
No,
gonna
I'm
be the
just
Hawks.
kidding.
Yeah.
The Hawks. Oh yeah, no, I was talking about the Nuggets. Nuggets Blazers. That's gonna be an interesting series, man.
I feel like they're so even.
And if Jokic is the MVP and loses in round 1, then that's gonna be a pathetic MVP season. He needs to get out of the first round. If you're an MVP, you need to be able to carry your team out of the first round.
I think it goes 7 games.
He needs to win the first round to
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I think it goes.
Oh,
7
you
games,
think it goes 7 games?
and then Jokic wins.
All right. Denver doesn't win, just Jokic.
Just Jokic. He switches teams, goes to the Blazers.
So we'll see, man. I'm going Blazers in 7. Yeah, it's gonna go 7. I think either way, it's gonna be a great series.
It's a coin toss.
Yeah. So far, who's been the MVP of the first round?
I'd have to say Trey.
Trey? I got to go with Luka. Guys who were
yeah.
traded for each other on draft night. But no, Trey's definitely up there. Carrying his team to a 3-1 lead as the first time ever in the playoffs.
I like Trey a lot. I agree with your Luka, but I'm gonna stick with Trey.
Okay. No, I understand. And what else? Something else I wanted to say when we were talking about biggest disappointments earlier. Not necessarily this season, but this playoffs. Julius Randle. Ugh.
I know.
Like, I mean, you prove yourself all regular season just to show yourself as a number 3 or 4 in the playoffs. Like, that team, that freak's just going as far as D-Rose and Frankie Smokes can take him, bro. Because Frankie Smokes has been actually playing some good defense on Trey.
I'll never get over Frankie Smokes.
Frankie Nicotine.
Frankie Newports.
Yeah, so that's a great series, man. Knicks Hawks bringing it back to the old school NBA.
Facts. I like it. I really wanted to see a Knicks Heat series, but I feel like I'm getting those Knicks Heats vibes.
Oh, yeah, with this Knicks Hawks. Yeah, Trey's talking his shit, bringing it back to the A. We'll see how it goes.
He's trolling Spike like Reggie Miller used to.
Yeah. Yeah, Trey and Reggie have a little bit of similarities.
I like it. I like it a lot.
True, man. The NBA is getting heated up.
I think Spike Lee just needs to wear more orange.
I know. I think he's pulling up with bucket hats and everything. Spike Lee, man.
He needs to paint himself orange and blue.
Get Julius Randle some help, bro.
Yeah, I know, right?
He's looking like Kwame Brown out there.
Tell him to do the right thing. He needs to go above the rim.
So, for this playoffs, we're back at you. We'll come back round 2, round 3. We'll see how it goes, man.
Yeah. Peace.
Go.